Hello, 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 hello! What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's stream. Today is Aura Kingdom stream. Back with Nitriary, the gunslinger, with the food in her mouth, you know. Well. So today's plan is to get through Crescent Hill and Kakarot Forest. So, kind of the same, going for 2 areas at a time here. And before I forget, Alexa, tell us an interesting fact.
The term cliché originates from the French word for click. It describes the sound made when printing plates are used to create the same text over and over again, as in a newspaper. The plates used in this process are also known as stereotypes.
Well, there's our interesting fact about print stuff. So yeah, like I said, today we're going to go to 2 areas. I would also like to mention, please don't spoil the new episode of the Book of Boba Fett. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for my dad to get home. So, anyways, also, there will be a stream tomorrow, but that's it for this week. My cap's going to be out of town this weekend, so we will have no weekend streams unless I'm like, you know what? Let's do some Gmod on Saturday. But I haven't decided if I'm going to take over Gmod or not, so I'll probably make that decision at some point today. So, also, there is no bonus stream this week. I'm thinking in a couple weeks to get up a Gartic phone with the group. So, yeah. So, today and tomorrow are the only streams this week. So, and with the Minecraft thing, I don't think we're starting that till February. Yeah. It's just how things worked with all of our schedules that it didn't really work out for us to start a new mod pack until like February. So if there are stuff at all throughout January, it's probably just going to be more MC Parks because that's our kind of go-to when we don't know what to do with Minecraft. Like, it's like we're between mod packs, but we don't think it's a good time to start another one and stuff like that. So, yeah. Also, if if I turn like this way, you're gonna see like something in the screen. That is my Switch. I am currently downloading Trove so that I can play it after stream. Anyways, and plus, here's the thing. I kind of want to like test out like how to like how to work out my capture card because you know once I'm finished with the Phoenix Wright series, we're going to Danganronpa S, which is exclusive for the Switch. Well, that's where I have it personally because, well, it's not on Steam. And I looked. Well, when I bought it, I looked. So, yeah. I guess I don't have anything else to say, so I guess we just should switch over to what I forgot to get ready for. So, there we go. And with all else, honestly, with everything, kind of, it's just like, yeah, we're here, we're vibing. And I totally always forget to like switch over the game before stream stuff. Also, this needs to be moved over there. You find the Lunarin chief and explain to him about you need to borrow the key to the Starlight treasure chest. The key to the Starlight treasure chest? How does someone like you know about it? Armai's eyes used suspiciously and impatiently. Right now, we're preparing for the ceremony, which takes precedence over everything else, and an outsider like you would never understand. The ceremony will start very soon, but we're still far from finished with preparations. I don't have time to hear your story. Your heart sinks at Omar's unwelcoming tone. You realize that borrowing the key from Omar will be harder than you thought. All you can do now is hang around in the village and look for other solutions. As you pass by, you can't help but notice a young woman sighing deeply. She seems so preoccupied with her worries that she hardly noticed you approaching. All those years that we lived in peace. What's everything it has to pick up now? Why does it have to pick up now to fuss up? If things go on like this, can we even perform the ceremony? You couldn't help but asking her if she was feeling okay. But did you hear all of it? You look like some kind of traveler, am I right? Yes, very much traveling-esque. This is what travelers look like. I guess that's why you don't know. We're having troubles with this year's ceremony. It's the event in the Lunarin village. Sue paces, completely oblivious to your presence. She frowns, her brow furrowing. If this keeps up, I'll never have all those flowers in time for the ceremony. You can't help to ask her what happened. You're from out of town, so I'm not surprised you don't know. But recently, wildlife around the village has become really aggressive. Several people have already been hurt. When I tried to pick the flowers for the ceremony near the village entrance, the lunar flower dryads attacked me in minutes. How am I supposed to prepare for the ceremony when those nasty little buggers are trying to keep biting at me in the leg? If you're planning on heading out that way, you better be careful. Now that you've heard that, you feel compelled to help the people of Lunar. Who knows, maybe you'll win their favor by cutting down those lunar flower dryads. Hiya! Alright, cool. You explain that you have taken the weed whacker to those pesky lunar flower dryads. Yes, the weed whacker. Totally not my pistols. Yep, definitely not. Not the gun show. Sue's eyes widening as something falls into place in her brain. I thought you were just another tourist here to see the ceremony. I didn't know you were a real warrior. This is great! Did you come from the Helvania coast? I like it there, though I haven't been down to visit in a while. Honestly, I was planning to leave this village to study abroad, but so much has happened recently that I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Right now, I'd be glad if the ceremony went off without a hitch. The Crescent Ceremony is not Lunarin's most well-known annual event. It's just around the corner now, but preparations are a real mess. Not long ago, Lemur suffered an attack. My grandpa, Anthony, is still busy fixing all the equipment and facilities that were damaged in the ambush. Well, meanwhile, my mom powering ahead full bore to make sure the ceremony happens, in spite of our recent misfortunes. You seem strong and pretty skilled. We think we could use your help. Could you drop by my mom's place and my grandpa to see how they are doing? And then let Helton know how things are doing. He's in charge of all the prep work for the ceremony. Why did you come to Crescent Hill anyways? If it's not for the ceremony, did you need something from us? Maybe you could ask Helton for help. He's the grandson of the chief village, you know. And just equip that real quick. If you're here to lend a help, I'm happy to take it. The ceremony is quite important, but we're in a bit of a pickle this year. Lunarin is the most vivid and fragrant blossoms. The flowers, which also provide for Nevea, are used in a great number of ceremonies in the Crescent Ceremony. The Crescent Ceremony is a festival in every year which we honor the heroes who founded this beautiful town. In the ritual of blessing, we sing their praises and ask them to look after us another year. However, our flower field has suddenly been induced by flower traps. They're making picking the blossoms near impossible. As the day of the ceremony approaches, I fear we won't be fully prepared. Each year, my apprentices and I set up wooden structures for the Crescent Ceremony. It's a complicated process, so we always try to get it started on earlier. We're almost finished preparing for the ceremony, but a few days ago, a band of gnomes from the southwest raided our village, wreaking havoc on everything we hold dear. Those beastly creatures destroyed a number of ceremonial items, even stole the ceremonial vessel. Ah! You must mean Nitriary. Omar is the chief village is my grandfather. I apologize for any brusqueness he might have shown you. He's under a lot of pressure right now. The Crescent Ceremony is a beautiful event, but these days many people no longer value the tradition. Some even consider the ceremony more of a yearly nuisance than a yearly blessing. Because the public no longer embraces the ceremony as they once did, my grandfather is becoming more and more stubborn and frankly xenophobic. He claims that out-of-towners are bad influences. I heard that you came to Crescent Hill to borrow the key to unlock the Starlight treasure chest. Grandfather may not care for strangers, but if I have a talk with him, he may at least let you borrow the key. So here's what I'm thinking. You help our town make a beautiful ceremony, and I'll get Gramps to let go of that key for an hour or two. You scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Okay, so we're gonna head back over to Nevea real quick. Not only have the creatures become more violent, but the bird brains, especially the dim-witted, particularly dim-witted as a creature you'll ever see, have grown more aggressive too. If you get close to them, they'll swarm you in flocks. We use plumage and flowers in the Crescent Ceremony's decorations, but if we can't get close to the bird brains, we'll never collect enough feathers. Sue told me that you chased away the flower druids, so I doubt wrangling a few bird brains will be too rough for you. You'll find those foolish follows flocking around the northwest of Lunarin. Remember to choose only the perfect feathers without split ends. We want the very best for our ceremony. I want to get a few more feathers in case if I don't get, because the more feathers we get, the more chances I'll have for getting the 2 shiny ones. See, this is why we get multiple feathers. You hand the feathers you collected to Nala. Perfect. Look at the sheen on these. You really know how to plume your ceremonies. With your help, I'll have my fingers crossed that we can pull off the ceremony without any more complications. Now I'll start weaving the feathers and flowers together with these in ropes. We'll just have to hope that Halton can retrieve the ceremony vessels before the date of the ceremony. Alright, level up. Cool. And damage and kills. Oh, 37's... One more HP. For now. So now we gotta go to Anthony, who has our next quest, so... Nitriary, Sue told me that you're helping to prepare the ceremony, and god dang it, I need all the help I can get. There's a type of plant known around these parts as lunar grass that grows to the northwest of Lunarin. If you grind up those lunar grass, you'll get a quickie paste that's almost like glue. We often use the paste to patch up broken items. This will be much quicker than rebuilding the damaged things from scratch. If you need to go, I need you to go gather some of that grass and then give that vigorous juice after you grind it up. Why not? It was fun. You hand the sick, foul-smelling vicious goose to Anthony. I fear some of these things would be beyond repair, but the damage is actually quite fairly minor. With this pace, we can patch them up as good as new. I heard about how you dealt with those flower dreads and the bird brain block. You're the real deal, aren't ya? Anthony gives you a once-over and nods slowly. Now that I'm thinking, who would win if you and old Potter had a go at it? You'll have to challenge him. Wouldn't that be a sight, huh? You shake your head, not really sure what Anthony is thinking. But if innocent villagers got hurt, what if more things got broken? Things seem to break a lot when you're around. Haha, don't underestimate me. Or the town doc will spend a week putting you back together. So this is the traveler, Anthony. Potter sizes you up. You have no idea where he came from. You apologize to Potter and point to merely. You explain that your Eidolon thinks an axe on its own, so a fight would be unpredictable. Tarnation! I need some exercise! You let me know when you're ready, Nitriary. I bet that Hampton boy would pay to see this. I understand. Just don't hurt him for real, alright? Merely looks at you, awaiting your response. If you accept this quest, the Potter will immediately attack you. You're on, Potter! You done saw that, right? Your challenger ain't half bad. My bones feel rattled like sticks in a storm. Potter rushes over to Hamlin. You quickly apologize to Potter, hoping you didn't cause any lasting damage. Potter, he'll be fine. We're talking about a man who boxes bird brains for a morning warm-up. Shucks, Halton. You can't even wait for me to leave before you lay on with your sick praise. I think I'm gonna blush. And now kiss. Well, Nitriary, you scored a decisive win. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hampton raises an eyebrow as he embraces you. If it was Anthony's idea for you to battle Potter, you must be giving him a good impression. But he's worried that Potter won't take up the fight. Looks like you both had a good time, though. Well, Anthony, it was right on the money. It was right on the money. If anyone can help this town here, Nitriary can. Halton will follow you on the details. The chief village wants to drum at me again about a few sins, so I'll have to excuse myself. Please make your acquaintance, Nitriary. Hopefully we can slug out again sometime in front of the big old crowd. Potter shakes your hand firmly. A country sakes and ambles off in the distance. As Potter leaves, you ask Halton about what kind of problem the village that needs solving by someone stronger than that. I just have guns. Pew pew pew. I'm sure Sue told you, but things started, we can't hold our Crescent Ceremony. Not while the local fauna is still on a rampage. We still have no idea what changed them, so... My number one headache, though, is those gnomes who busted up our village a couple days ago. Adding injury to insult, they swept the village ceremonial vessel, a necessary piece to the ceremony. Crescent Hill is brimming with Earth's energy. The instrument keeps the energy in balance. If it is stolen, the energy will become violated and affect the creatures of the forest. The energy could even form something new. There's no telling what could happen if the energy became too negative. The pneumatic flower and the southern crescent flower fields are creating an energy. The situation is beginning to worry you. You ask if there's anything you can do. That's why I need your help. We need to get rid of the demonic flowers right away. Please head to the flower field south of here and gather the glands from the drunken flower beetles. Also, we need some arcane flowers. The arcane flower panels enhance the gland intent. They only grow near the former site of Lunarin. I didn't really mean to fight those yet. Well, there's one. Alright, there we go. The more I clear out, the more they won't bother me. Also, I just want to go boom, boom, boom. Have some more things to sell in the end. Or I could just do this. Boom. 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 And boom. When in doubt. You give the glands an arcane flower to Hanson. An ostrich comes forward, cocking its head, entranced by the sweet smell of wafting from the glands of blooms. You quickly snatch the items from the ostrich's reach. They don't smell too strongly now, but when I infuse the glands with the pollen and apply heat, the smell will intensify. Now we can proceed to the next step. Hamlin cracks his knuckles eagerly. After the glands of the flower beetles have been properly processed, we can use their distinct odor to draw out most the incredibly powerful king of the flower traps. The king flower trap is very powerful. Even Potter can't defeat it. If you want to take it down, you'll need to strip it of its power first. Unlike flower traps, the sprite scales dust have positive energy. If you can tame the spirits and get them to help you, you can weaken their power of the king flower trap. However, it is difficult for normal people to get close to the spirits. If you try to approach them, they'll lift away. But I'm sure you got a trick up your sleeve, right? Hamel says, noticing a note of desperation in his voice. You're looking at an envoy of Gaia, who can control the power of Gaia that flows through living things, so the spirits won't be able to detect Octavia. Merely pipes up cheerfully. Despite Merely's votes of confidence, he insists that you'll do your best, but can make no guarantees. Very well, Octavia. Take the sealed bag and find the sprites. First, create a distraction. Then, when the spirits are at their weakest, catch one and bring it back. Hi! Oh, okay, we're done with that quest. You give the captured sprite to Hanson. Excellent. Everything is going according to plan. We have finished our preparations, so now we just have to wait. Now we just need to go to the flower fleets and defeat the king of flower traps. Though you captured the sprite successfully, if we let it out, it will escape immediately. Without another word, Hanson reaches over and plucks a single hair from your head. Ow! You gasp in shock and demand to know what the big idea is. I'm sorry, but legend has it if you want a spirit to calm down, you must let it get used to your scent. Hanson shrugs apologetically, then puts your hair inside the bag with the captured sprite. You suppose that makes sense, though you suddenly have a wicked headache, and you ask how to use the sprite to defeat the king of flower traps. Take the glands to the flower field. Meanwhile, the spirit will get used to your scent. I will send someone to meet you and help you deal with the king of flower traps. Hey, and since you're heading to the flower field, could you take out the flower traps along the way? Otherwise, then the time comes to face the flower king, you'll have to deal with the beastly blossoms too. Tactical breaking defense. Ha! You hand the glands in the bag containing the sprite to Jesse, explaining that you have eliminated a good deal of the flower traps on the way to the field. Everyone in Lunarin is talking about you. I'm glad I finally get to meet you in the flesh. I was worried you were a figment of their hopeful imagination, Nitavia, I will help you deal with the king of flower traps. Only a few people understand the severity of the situation. Even Powder is no match for the king of flower traps. Jesse begins to open the bag containing the sprite. The sprite escapes as soon as Jesse opens the bag. You fear it might take off, but when you stick out your hand, it moves over to you. Excellent! You bonded with it. It isn't afraid of you at all. Jesse barely contains his enthusiasm. With the help of the sprite, you can weaken the negative energy coming from the king and the flower trap. Ah! I almost forgot. We need to use the glands to lure him out first. The king of flower traps hates the smell of the flower beetle glands, but the sprites love it. Jesse pulls a match from his backpack. He lights the gland ablaze and blows out the match. You carefully take the gland from Jesse and immediately sniff a stench familiar to old head cheese. Old head cheese. The tame spirit rocks back and forth happily. It seems to love the scent. The king of flower traps hides deep within the flower fields. Even though you have a sprite with you, you can't just let your guard down. Use the gland smell to draw out the king's flower trap and slay the beast. I can't really slay the beast. I can shoot it down. I can't slay because I don't have swords or anything like that. Hopefully we can bring the good news to the village chief. Sorry, I'm a little tired. Ha! Sorry. Something weird was outside. I was like, what? Who asked an outsider to take on such a dangerous task? What would you do if a stranger got injured? Hansel should have known better, and Anthony and Potter aren't thinking things through. The village chief paces angrily. You tap the chief's village shoulder. He turns surprised to see you. You're still in the village? Well, fine. Stay here. Don't go running off. This isn't a tourist attraction. There's dangers everywhere, Omar grunts. You explain to Omar that you already defeated the King of Flower Traps. As you speak, you point to the sprite towards the flower field. The sprite seems sad to leave. It moves towards the flower field, but it looks back over its shoulder at you, a magical expression on its face. Well done, little sprite! Omar watches the spirit leave. He tries to remain stoic, but a content grin flits across his weather face. Yes, I am very grateful for your help, but I do wish that you would use the less harsh method. His words seem insincere, but he can't help to wipe the smile from his face. No matter what, you work hard to protect you worked hard to protect our ceremony. If I didn't lend you this key, the villagers would think me unreasonable. However, though the issue of the King of the Flower Trips has been resolved, we still can't complete the ceremony. I'll give you the key on one condition. Help us retrieve the stolen ceremonial vessels so that we can complete the Crescent Ceremony. I'll lend you the key. You now firmly agreeing to the deal. I'm starting to like you more and more, stranger. Go to Anthony and bring back a large container enough to fit a person inside. It sounds odd, but it's all part of our genius plan. You explain why you have come to Anthony. Yes. The village chief already told me the details. I have a large urn here that is normally used to store water. It should work perfectly. Take the urn to the village chief. You pick up the urn and get a good grip. Merely leans in towards you. That village chief Almar seems to look at you as part of the plan. If he needs help, why doesn't he just come out and ask? You tell Merely that the village chief is likely embarrassed. You implore him Merely not to ask such questions in front of the village chief. I understand. I guess it's a human thing. Is that key really that important? Well, it's been passed down from the village from generation, but no one exactly knows what it unlocks. You hand the large urn to Omar. I already sent Potter to observe the gnomes. You just need to go and cause commotion outside the Mistwalkers tribe, and Hanson can hide inside the urn. Then infiltrate the camp. Don't worry about Hamilton. We just need you to create a distraction. He'll take advantage of the commotion and find the ceremonial vessels. I mean, I guess it's better than, kidnapping, We haven't kidnapped anyone. Nope, not at all. We totally didn't kidnap a pirate at one point. Nope, definitely. Nope. Now we'll proceed with the plan. You need to create a massive distraction. Go north of the Mistwalker tribe and cause a ruckus. Make sure the tribal parolemen can control chaos. Remember to put the large arm, the one that helped him sighting near the gate. Afterwards, meet up with Potter. Hi-ya! Patrolman. Putting down the large arm, you quickly hide yourself to one side. A trio of patrolmen passed by. How is there a large arm here? The tribesmen try to push the urn away. Feels quite heavy, but don't know what's inside it. I got it! There must be some wine in that someone stole from the Lunarin rituals. Great! With this much wine, we can hold ceremonies for several days! Let's move this urn to the warehouse, quickly! Yes. Yes, definitely wine. There is definitely wine and not a guy in there. Definitely wine. I could go get myself some wine anyways. Ha! Ha! Ah, yeah! Nailed it. Ha! You see that? Like, look at those gomes running around like chickens. Potter doubles over with laughter. It worked like a charm, did it? It did. They never suspected the urn, so with Hamlin inside the camp, it looks like it's time for the next phase. What you need to do now is buy Hamlin some time and search the camp. That means you gotta raise a ruckus again. You seem good with it. You seem good at that, anyhow. Yes, because, you know, going in and murdering people is definitely how I cause ruckuses. Yep. I just go murder people. No one suspects the girl with the food in her mouth. If their eyes are on you, they ain't going to be on Hamlin. So just go swinging around and don't stop for a while. That ought to give them a real show. Now for maximum chaos. You want to be smacking down those tribal warriors and tribal elders. Whoo boy, they should be good after. They'll be after you good. Ha! 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 And boom. He sure turned up a storm in there. Hempin should have all the time he needs to swipe back those ceremonial vessels. I guess you're amazing as you are. I can handle those gnomes, but taking on so many at once would leave me gasping for breath. Yes, because you just have a giant axe. You can't just go swing, swing, swing all the time. You can't spin the wind, apparently. And I can't either, you know? I just got guns, you know? Pew, 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 pew. It's Hanson's show from this point on. You gave him the perfect setup, so now he's got to take the reins. Here's hoping he can get those ceremonial vessels back. You tell Potter that you briefly saw a robot amongst the tribes. The gnomes are probably using those contraptions to bolster their security. Let's just hope Hanson can get through without getting affected by them. Accepting them. Before we do that, yeah. Boom. boop, boop, boop. Now I'm here. I have to find the stones. I can get the centers if I walk along the road. It's gonna help me sneak around one. No, I won't be able to. The robot there. I can go around this side. Wait. Grab this one. And there we go. This one should not be that hard. Potter, I have returned. Well. The intended infiltrator returns. Did you find the ceremonial vessels? Need any medical treatment? Potter asked, eager to hear about the mission. You worry too much, Potter. I'm stronger than you think. And not a scratch on me, in fact. Hampton hands a few items he found to Potter. I found the boxes that contain the ceremonial vessels. Some of them seem awfully light. Great, thanks a lot. Now with the ceremonial vessels have been found, we should get out of here quickly. Just hold on. A few follow-up-picking minutes. Something's missing here. Potter fishes around, but he can't seem to find the ceremonial stones. Well, while I was looking for the ceremonial vessels, I came up and found a few robots. They seemed more powerful than I expected. Given this gnome's mechanical abilities, I think perhaps the ceremonial stones are being used to strengthen those automations. Hampton, you go back to the village with those ceremonial vessels. I'm seeing a few pages of the ceremonial tombs describes that the worship ritual has been torn out. We ain't leaving without that fistful pages or the stones. Understood. I'll leave these items here with you and Nitavia. Nitavia, you can likely find the ceremonial stones with the steamer robots themselves. We have to get them back. Hamill smashes his fist into an open palm to punctuate his thoughts. I was worried about the gnomes that still had the ceremonial vessels. If we were attacked the Mistwalkers head on, we could have damaged the vessels. But now, Octavia, we need you to head to the camp and turn those steamer robots to scraps. Pry the ceremonial stones out of their wreckage and bring them back. I'm really only good for just pew-pew-pewing and gun shooting. Also, the ability to keep food in my mouth always. Well, that was easy. You gingerly hand the ceremonial stones to Potter. Potter examines the stones. Doesn't look like they lost much of their energy. Just a little mystical recharge and they should be good as new. Natavia, while you were searching for the ceremonial stones, I saw the gnome's boss man, Rondel, coming back to the camp. I'm thinking those missing pages from the ceremonial team might be some sort of magic like the gnomes had to use. I got no doubt those pages are here. The elders had them. I bet if you take down the Elder Rondel, he'll have plenty of information you will find quite enlightening, and then all you'll need to do is tell the village chief whatever Rondel spells to you. Alright! Yeah. So one more level and I could just totally be like here. You regretfully inform him that you have found no traces of the ceremonial tomb's missing pages, but you found a letter with half of its wax seal torn. Wait, you what? Let me look at that. Omar snatches the paper from your hand, squinting at the details of the envelope before opening it. This is a plan, I think. A list of instructions which the gnome must be following. Looks like it starts with attacking the village and sealing the ceremonial tomb. Who gave the gnomes these instructions? Is someone controlling them? Maybe that's why they're taking our ritual items. It does make more sense. The situation has gotten a lot more serious. If we can use the broken seal to identify the writer, we can figure out who's calling the shots with the shots in this scheme. The Crescent ritual is a ceremony of blessings passed down through countless generations. Those outsiders may not understand it, but that doesn't change the fact that no one may interrupt the ceremony. Talk about luck. It just happens to be a scholar from Nevea. Nitriary is our city, you know. Currently staying at the clerk's farm. She may be able to determine who sent this letter. As for its contents of the torn pages of the ceremonial tomes, she may be the decipher that as well. How about you go to the clerk's firm and look for the scholar? I believe her name is Rosie. I'll use this time to prepare that key. You nod, gathering the ceremonial tomes and letters from Omar's hand. You turn to head out when Omar calls out to you. Wait, I almost forgot. When Rosie was last in Lunarin, she asked Cameron to post the church's quest list. I don't know how if he managed to do it. Before you see Rosie, you better check the village's bulletin board. If you see a request from any church scholars, let Rosie know. Want to keep up a good impression, after all. Wait, Nevea, don't leave yet. I just thought since our village has all these troubles, and it was all thanks to you that we got out of them, though I suppose it's not over yet. I just thought, if I don't say something, we're kind of being taken advantage of you. Hearing Omar's words, you suspect this is probably how he expresses his things. That's just how old man Omar personally seems to work anyways. Now then, come a little closer. While Omar speaks, he fumbles around his back, grasping here and there. Here you go. Omar pulls out the package from behind his back, handing it to you. You realize it's a finely crafted cast skin hat sack. Though it shows a little bit of age, you can tell by the masterful workmanship that it was made to last. Who knows, you might find a use for it. Oh, never mind, just take it. Omar looks at it like he wanted to say something more, but perhaps out of embarrassment stopped short. Thanks, I needed more backpack space. Quite frankly, I really did. Before I leave the village again, we're gonna sell some things because we need to. Wait, no. And boom. Quest commissions cover the bulletin board. You glance over through many of the flowers, searching for quests suitable for you. You glance through Maribel's bulletins for any requests from the Church of Scholars. After careful consultation, you determine that no such announcements have been posted. Perhaps Hanson forgot to post them up. Nevea, I thought you already left. Are you supposed to deliver those clues to Clark's farm? Hampton approaches you friendly, slightly with his eyebrows suddenly in surprise. Speaking of duties, you ask Hampton about the church's request. Oh, what's that all about? Don't waste your time. I posted Rosie's request a while ago. It hadn't been up for more than a couple days before some traveler tore it off the board. So not only did I post the request, but someone already is taking care of it. You're now looking at the board as the board gotten you more curious about it. You decide to ask Hamlin about it. Every town and city, even Nevea, has one of these bulletin boards somewhere. Typically, it's somewhere posted to post an ad requesting something to be done. Adventurers like to answer these ads as a way to make extra cash. Did you see something, anything uninteresting, Nitriary? You can always return to the board later to take a closer look. I'm sure there's a lot of work here for someone of your skills. Alright, let's go talk to Rosie. You awkwardly clear your throat and tell Rosie that the request from the church had posted to Lunarin's board with other adventurers already answered the call. Oh, thank you. I'm glad our request has received some response. Being a little encouraged, you quickly introduce yourself and then delve into the details of Omar's request. As you do that, you hand the ceremonial tombs and the letter. Oh, I see now. You're the one who defeated the King of Flower Traps and retrieved the ceremonial tomes. Rosie carefully spreads out the items before her as she talks. I didn't expect someone with such reputation to be so young. Like, how old is my character anyways? Like, I always assumed just like, she's like 18 or she's like 17, 18, that kind of range, you know. Rosie studies you and Merrily with such a stock, analyzing gaze. It shouldn't take me long to study this tomb before I can tell you what's missing. Identifying this wax seal, on the other hand, will be much more of a tedious task. The seal has been worn down and almost smooth. From what I can gather so far, I can think of at least 5 tribes that may use this marking like these as their seals. I need more time to reduce this number. I want to try to recreate the seal. To do that, though, I need some soft shell powder. Rosie runs her fingers through the broken wax seal, brows fluoro deep in thought. Hey, Clark, is it possible to get some soft beetle shells or some powder? Rosie suddenly lifts her voice, raising her head, looking to the owner of the farm. Shells, you say? Oh, we don't have those here, but you can catch those hepatotrolls beetles west of here. They don't have any natural predators, so their shells are quite soft. That will work. Now I just need to obtain them. Rosie turns to pin you with an accepting look. You look at Merrily, then back at Rosie, throwing your shoulders back and nodding your head stiffly. You're ready for the job. Ah, good. In that case, in case you didn't hear, go southwest of Cloud's farm in search of the habitable beetles and obtain their shells. If possible, I'd also like you to grind them up into a fine powder before giving them to me. Wow. Lazy much? There's one. Hi. Yeah. There's 3. Oh, we only needed 2. With conducting archaeological research, you often run into this situation. I have sent it time and time again. You hand the powder to Rosie. Heliotrope powder isn't ideal in this situation, but with the state of the seal, it should be more than enough. Next, I need some pure water to mix with the powder. If there are any impurities in the water, it will come back to bite us when we are recreating the seal. Go southwest of South Clark's farm and get a bucket of water from the shallow there. The water there will work the best for our purposes. Now I'm just errands. I do errands. That's how I do. That's how we do things. He handed the bucket full of water to Rosie. Now we just need to mix them up, put the wax seal inside, and wait for it to get clean. Rosie instructs primly, narrating each step of the process. Nevea, what brings you to the village? We don't get a lot of outsiders here. You explain that you've come to Lunarin because you want to borrow the key of the Starlight treasure chest from the village chief Omar. The key to the Starlight treasure chest? Rosie lowers her voice. You can practically see the gears turning in her head as she continues her task. Recreating the seal requires some time. Why don't you come back in a bit? Level 25! We're gonna take a little bit of a break from main quest because we're now level 25. So now we can use other Eidolons. So I think we're gonna have Ayako on our team, because she matches our aesthetics pretty well. Kesson, and yes, Sylvian. Okay, so boom, Ayako. Aiko's our partner in crime. While you're on the way to the destination, Merrily suddenly stops. You pause as well, wondering what's up. You turn to look at Merrily, finding gaze at the sky. It was bewilderment. Concerned, you ask Merrily what's going on. I hear others calling out my name. I can hear them, but I can't see them. Where are they? Merrily stares into the desperate murmuring. Seeing Merrily acting strange like this makes you feel a bit nervous. Cautiously, you move to Merrily's side and call out its name. You also speak a few words. Hey, you can't hear those voices too. I feel like they're reaching for my very soul. I must go to the altar of the moon. It's important. Oh, okay. Anyway, actually, it doesn't. I don't think this really matters. This is side stuff, so. Well, we'll grab that one when. Yeah. Side. Can I even head to Nevea right now? It's kind of like the big question right now. I can. Nice. Also, we can't really do anything with the Siragun keys and the Alias keys because, well, I have them both at least 3 stars, so we don't need their keys, period. Nitriary, I will free you from the shackle of your Eidolon. Subjects of these experiments are the 5 Eidolons, Acerith, the Merrily, Grim, Acelia, and the Elena. Because we don't have enough manpower, these aren't many Eidolons open to the public. Please excuse this. After casting, please open the Eidolon interface and look at the sample behind me. For the fourth page, Arrow of Red, Eidolon Skills is a page where you can get Mana Star Stones. There are 2 ways to get Mana Stones. One, they can be purchased from the Item All page, and the other can be attained by connecting to an Eidolon. Click Fortify the Mana Stone to your favorite Eidolon. After successfully giving the gift to an Eidolon, the green level below will increase, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. So, basically, it's this. Also, we could do this. And these, like, I think these increase, but in level, maybe. So I have my green tiers for both my skills of some Eidolons, but not all my Eidolons. But anyways, oh gosh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry to bother you while you're so busy. I desperately need some help. We really get guests, especially such important ones. I'd like to make a good impression on them. But with all these annoying beetles flitting around, I fear their research will be interrupted. Could you get rid of the grassy beetles in the southwest of the Clark Farm? If you see any beetles, squash them. Those filthy insects multiply at an alarming rate. And do. Alright, let's defeat the eggs. There we go. Rosie and her researchers are investigating the Aslan Temple ruins. This place has been abandoned for centuries, but in ancient times, the Lunarin ceremonies were held there. However, the church suddenly decided to close down the Aslan Temple, so it's been vacant ever since. People rarely go near it anymore. You explained that you eliminated a good deal of the grassy beetles, but some of them bounce back quite quickly. I'm ashamed to say that I've been so busy talking to Rosie and her people that I have neglected the farm work. I need to make up for that now, Clark says, his cheeks flustered. I actually made up some pesticides. If I just hadn't had the chance to get out there and spray, the farm has suffered because of it. Nevea, please go around the farm and spray the pesticide. It should keep the pests at bay for a while. Thank you very much. What's in the pesticide, you ask? Don't worry about it. We only use natural ingredients, so it won't hurt the environment. This particular pesticide can stop a certain type of bug from getting close. I can't let those insects destroy the farm while I work so hard to build. Now the scholars can focus on their research, and I'll make a good impression on the church. Okay, Rose, you should now be done then. The stolen ceremonial tomb was originally the church's book of spells. Blessings are written within it, but there are more than a few curses hidden inside too. Whoever tore out the pages were probably looking for the curses. I need to know what kind of curses are inside the book. Breaking the curse seal requires some time and material, so I'll need your help to get them. Please go to the altar of the moon and gather the scaled dust from the wings of the spirits. Back to the altar of the moon. Okay. Hi. That was easy. You hand the scale dust to Rosie. Okay, just a little sprinkle here. Rosie shakes a decent amount of scale dust on the pages. It seems the seemingly normal pages suddenly go and runic letters slowly appear. While I decode these last cures, you should take a trip to Nevea. After you report your actions to the church, there's a Templar who wants to meet you. Hey, okay, I like you, but you came to the Crescent Forest to borrow the key to open the Starlight treasure chest. Why does the task keep getting away in your goal? I still need to decipher the curses in the tome. I'll work on that. If you come up with anything, I'll tell Omar immediately. I might be done by the time you get back. She smiles hopefully. Alright. Attraction! Boop, boop. And boom. That's a title we can have. Ba-ba-da. Oh no. Oh no. A confident female Templar stands before you, her bright red hair whipping in the wind. She must be the one Rosie mentioned, Templar Anaya. Are you Nitavia? I see. You're younger than I expected. Why do people keep calling me young? I mean, I guess it's better than be called short. Whoops. Anaya gives you a once-over, raising an eyebrow. You notice that for just a moment she seems surprised by merely. She quickly hides her shock under Templar socialism. You politely prepare to introduce yourself to Anaya, hoping to dissolve her judging gaze. Anaya, however, interrupts you as soon as you open your mouth. Forget the pleasantness. I know who you are. Go get some flower tendrils for me. Stunned, you aren't sure how to respond to this demand. The forest flower traps grow outside Nevea. Just pull the tendrils off them. Don't ask why, just do it. We'll talk more when you... I know she's your favorite, okay? But you're wrong. Victoria's best girl. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. And you know, Andre, best boy. Unfortunately, best boy is dead for me with my raper, but we don't talk about that. Well, I'm sorry. It's my stream, so therefore I'm always right. Haha! LOL! Wait, that's a bird brains I need to tackle. Why did I murder that one? Oh well. That will come up later. Probably. One tendril. Nailed it. You pass the forest flower traps tendrils to Anaya. I see. She examines them carefully. Now I need you to get me the splendid incense from the Nevea bird brain. You are something more than a little annoyed. You have no idea what Anaya is up to. The spring water around Nevea possesses a special energy. This energy is considered concise within the body of the bird brains found outside Nevea. Anaya steps pacing. The condensed essence of the river should be inside the body of the bird brains. Combine the few of the condensed essence to make this splendid essence, and then give it to me. Okay. Ah! See? It was smart to accidentally kill that one bird brain then. Now we have 2. We're already up to 2 essence. 3! 4. And now we're up to 5. It's amazing. Anaya snatches the splendid essence from you. You ask her why she needs the tendrils. She'll see soon enough, Anaya says dismissively. She pulls out a flower trap tendrils and slashes a hole with it with one sharp knife. A light of green liquid immediately oozes from the tendril. Anaya murmurs an incantation you never heard before. A faint halo of light immerses from the hole from the tendril. You remain suspicious of Anaya's motives, but suddenly a light converges on Merely. A light quickly envelops Merely. Merely closes its eyes and begins to hover midair. Your heart begins to race. You scream at Anaya to stop as you watch Merely float higher and higher. Don't worry, I just need to get a handle on how much you can control the Eidolon. It won't hurt much. Anaya drones with a twisted smile. After a moment, Merely floats down to earth and begins to squirm slightly, stretching. Don't worry, I'm okay. Merely seems unaffected, but Anaya's actions infuriate you. Furthermore, her mention of the Eidolon scares you a bit. I'm sorry, I suppose I've been quite rude. When we met people who can control Eidolon, we must immediately know which side they have chosen. If they are already succumbed to evil, well, Anaya trails off. You suddenly remember Brian and the bloodthirsty partner in the harbor. Brian was incredibly dangerous and unpredictable, so you suppose you can understand Anaya's perspective. I just used the flower trap tendrils as a means to conduct a simple test. I can confirm that you won't pose any threat to the people at the moment. You're eager to get rid of the Eidolon, but not wanting to be anything like Brian. However, when Anaya said you are safe, you feel somewhat relieved. Ever since Rosie found that you defeated the King of Flower Traps, she started to suspect that you were an employee of Gaia, which would explain the Eidolon. Since you are so young, you haven't gone through any rigorous training yet, that you came here for the key of the Starlight treasure chest. And why you want it? Say says that you haven't given into the temptation of power yet. The splendid essence that you just collected were to test the purity of the Eidolon. The color of the essence changes depending on the spiritual state of the one who collected it. That's how the Grand Bishop judges you. The Grand Bishop? You arc an eyebrow. I notices your surprise. Nitavia, is that the Grand Bishop wants to see you? I just bet you have some questions for him too. Yes, we had to go all the way over here just to get to the warp gate. Yep, there definitely wasn't a warp portal nearby. Right, anyways. Alright. You bow your head as you pass the splendid essence to the Grand Bishop. You finally arrive. The Grand Bishop accepts the shining and splendid essence from you. His calm smile reassures you. The Grand Bishop looks at the essence and then at Merely. He begins to chant the essence, and the essence grows even brighter. Merely watches the Grand Bishop mutter his incarnation. The essence tells me that your Eidolon holds great power. We do not know if it poses a risk in the future. Only that it will continue to evolve and grow. Yeah, sure. After hearing this, you hurriedly tell the Grand Bishop about Brian and what happened in Scandia. A black panther swallowed Brian, turning him into a monster. I harbor great remorse for what befell that child. His heart stood no chance against the unruly power of desire. That's why he was consumed by an Eidolon. Anyone whose strength is awakened by the cube of Gaia can manifest great power within in this world. They also will grant the ability to harness the power they create. The cube of Gaia. This name again. I thought it was only in legends, but it truly exists, like Merely says. Nevea, you're an envoy of Gaia. As such, you wield the power of Gaia. You are the one awakened by the legendary cube of Gaia. But I'm only level 26. I'm not awakened yet. Come on. That comes much later. Gaia's power can manifest in many different forms. You have seen this firsthand in the Eidolons. The Eidolons each look different, but each come through contract with a greater being. But people of this world, even though they have heard the coming of the envoys of Gaia, they cannot distinguish between Eidolons and monsters. You recall when you first became aware of Merely's presence, and how the citizens of Scandia thought you were being possessed by a demon. History tells us that most envoys of Gaia use their power to fight against the forces of darkness, but some fell prey to it and brought suffering and pain back into the world. The Grand Bishop pauses in silence in moments. There are those who, like that young man from the port, who are unable to withstand from the temptation that comes with the Eidolons. They lose themselves in body or mind. It's still unknown whether you will be able to bear the full magnitude of the Eidolon's power, but there's yet time for you to grow. If you require any aid that we may offer, speak with Gus, our guard officer, and tell him what you need. It looks like Rosie was right. You are young! Why does everyone say I'm young? But let me say, the way you were able to handle that business with the magic flower and Lunarin has us impressed. You feel a bit bashful as Gus looks you up and down, though he can't quite believe that you are who Rosie was talking about. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you there. I'm Gus, the guard officer. He smiles and gives you a curt bow. If you're ever in trouble or need to make a report to the Grand Bishop, just come see me in the audience chamber. No appointment needed. You may fight many battles as an envoy of Gaia. Let not a burden see to your list of troubles. I've heard that you're looking for a way. I've heard you're looking for a way for one to sever the link with an Eidolon. Is that true? You purse your lips and give a soothing nod. Well, we know it's technically possible. There are very few old books in the church's library that record someone's success in returning the Eidolon to a dormant state. Unfortunately, the accounts includes a few hard details of the methods being used. Perhaps in your travels you will discover how it may be done. You have traveled a long way to get here. How about taking some time to see the sights and get to know the city? There are many shops and places worth a visit. There are some sure to be useful to you as you continue in your journey. Nevea is surely a jewel of the Malar continent. It says that there was people that the people of Tyra first instructed in the ways of legends, crafts, and even magic by divine beings who descended from the Aura Kingdom. He said the name of the game. You're not remembering how from the time through your run, you always heard of how Nevea was resented, a scarce place, a sacred place. You tell Gus that you hoped that one day to make the journey to Nevea, but never in your wildest dreams thought that's where you finally visit the holy city. It would be as an envoy of Gaia. The church is set to announce the wit strengthening of Nevea's security. For it to go over smoothly, we need to support the city's merchants. Can you go out and explain to them what we have in mind? That would really help smooth the way for us. You're not saying that you're willing to lend a hand. Ha! If you could only see your solemn, doodly expression right now. I'm not asking you for a volunteer work, you know. There's compensation in it for you, of course. The real value, though, is getting to know the people of the city. You never know that when you might need a service of one of them provides. Takes this declaration of emits domains that's start by visiting Plumata in the Dome Square. She is one of the city's most respected merchants, and getting her agreement would be a good influence on the others. Okay. We can tell them. Oh no. Did the game crash? Oh no. Then the game crashed. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. This might be a while, so I actually gotta go to the bathroom. Want to refill my water bottle up, so I'm actually gonna switch over to the BRB screen then. So Well, I'm back. So, yee. Alright. Let's get back onto this. Plutonia sees the declaration of the eminent domain in your hand, but rather looking satisfied. Aciel, she seems disappointed. Why didn't Gus just come over himself? It feels like ages since he stopped by. There's a gaggle of ladies who do business in Domain Square pinging to meet him. You hand the Plania the declaration of eminent domain and tell her what Gus told you. Of course, if it's the church has such large need for equipment, it's going to be a profitable venture for me, but still, I'm a bit surprised. Getting us on board with the actual contract. Are they planning some kind of major deployment? Plutonia looks expectantly at you, as if requesting some kind of explanation. You can only shake your head, saying that you're not really ready. Saying that you're not really sure what the church's larger plan is. It's an unusual request for the church to make, but it seems like you don't know much more about it than I do. Prana's furrows her brow as she looks at you. You shift uncomfortably, stating again that you don't know much about the agreement. Well, I'm gonna give this a thorough read over, but don't just stand there waiting. I don't care if the church dispatched you or not. I got a business to run here. In fact, first things first. There we go. Now we're ready for this side, so now we can start readying over to this side, and then up to here, and then down there. Or what if I just... Yeah. In fact, you can be more compensating for me for lost time. See that circle over there? Take some of these flyers and hand them out to any travelers you see. Piano smiles broadly as she flops the fat sack of flyers into your hands. Are you just a conscript again? I'm just the errand girl now. As always. Thanks. I'll stop by and take a look when I have the time. What are the herbs doing here? They're not there anymore. Palomya's armor shop. How many people did she hire to hand these out? Thanks for the hard work. I don't do much. You're so cool. I hope you have a great day. Oh, thanks. I hope everyone else has a good day too. But we're not ending stream, that is. Not yet, at least. It'd be too early to end stream, you know? We need one more traveler. Welcome. We got armor that will keep your enemies that will keep the enemy's stabby parts out of your soft spots. Have a look at whatever strikes your fancy, or trade and use the gear towards purchase of a new armor. That's a great sales pitch. We help you keep the enemy's stabby parts out of you. Great sales pitch. You tell Piranha that you finally managed to hand out all the flyers without even using your Eidolon to intimidate people into taking them. Thank you. It's quite helpful. That was quite helpful. Anyways, after reading through that agreement, I decided to sign it, raising the city's alert level to a serious manner. So I just couldn't casually sign it without knowing what I was getting into. Time to fire up the forge and get working on that equipment. Then we can iron out everything with the fortification wizardry. You know about fortification, right? It's the method we use to strengthen our weapon or toughen up pieces of armor.
Use fortification scrolls to enhance the attributes of your equipment. This process consumes Gaia fragments.
I don't care. We know about it. It's not exactly easy to get a hold of these scrolls, but you never know when the power or defense fortification grants could be that very thing grants you victory or saves your skin. It's true. Fortification is very important. It saved my butt in a lot of boss battles. Not gonna lie. Farnia hands you a signed declaration. A friendly word of advice here. Getting my endorsements is good, but a document like this only has power if most merchants are on board with it. You need armorsmiths, weapons sellers, and item vendors, and all support. You should go show this to Sergei. I've heard from him that weapon manufacturers are having some problems sourcing the materials they need. Going by the amount listing this declaration, he needs to get some supply issues fixed yesterday. You hand the declaration of eminent domain to Sergei. Without a word, Sergei's eyes dart over to the wit. His brow follows as he sets down, but he signs it without further questions. Gus gave me a heads up that this was coming. This was all coming last time I saw him, but it was only in the draft stage then. Those who craft weapons know the finest ores that come in the desolate mines. The thing is, we haven't received any shipment from them in a while. You ask why the mines haven't sent anything to Nevea, whether you should pass this information on to Gus. It's okay, Gus already knows this. He told me the church is currently investigating into the matter, but it seems casually when I ask him for more details. I'll bring it up with him later. You should take this to Eve the grocer and have her look at it. If this has come from Gus, I think it was some kind of practical joke. Gus seems to be a busy man these days. Even the knights are in Solomon Town for more than a day or two at a time. Something must be happening, right? You're still wondering why all the merchant ladies want to meet Gus. I mean, not gonna lie. Gus is kind of cute. I did him up. But that's probably because actual best boy Andre, you know, like I mentioned before, is gonna die. He's not dead in this place, sir. He's not gonna be dead for a long time. I mean, the bard's coming up close to his death, I think, because, yeah, just has to get, yeah, the bard's coming close to it. Eve smiles, wondering you read, seeming though to read the thoughts in your thoughts through your expression. Don't worry, I won't blabber this time. I won't blabber on into the citizens. I know Gus would be annoyed if this whole matter caused the people of the city to worry. But I'm going to make this much medicine. I'll need lots of herbs, and it'll probably take a while to get a stable supply. Eve ponders the preparation she would have to make as she signs the agreement. Most of what I use my potions come from Kakarot Forest. Every year around this time, the folks who normally collect the herbs are all gogged over the robot competition they have. You should visit them sometime. The dwarfs out in Kakarot Forest are the real wizards with machines. I've heard they can even convert plant energy into mechanical energy. That's wild! You nod your head and take the paper from Eve, noticing that there are still some blank lines awaiting signatures. You should take this to the bank now, to make it official. That'd be Soren if you need to speak with... You'll need to speak with... He's south of the square. I'm sure seeing this will fire up his curiosity. You hand the document now with many merchant signatures to Soren. Alright, let me see what you got. Soren takes the document from you and begins to quickly scan the paper, a frown slowly forming on his face. Well, you gotta be kidding. You weren't kidding about this being an important matter. I'll have to make it a top priority for the moment, to ensure the city's merchants have no trouble in funding their shipments. I guess it's a swindler's lucky day. You asked Soren what happened, wondering if you might be able to lend a hand. You're on commission from the guard officer, correct? Maybe you can help me catch a thief. They make a clean getaway with a valuable deposit. Now I don't know how to break it to the client. Not too long ago, a very important client deposited some valuable jewelry with us for safekeeping. But while the jewelry was being transported to the vault, one of the crowning pieces, a necklace, was stolen. You see why Sora was getting fretted over the thief, so you asked if he had any leads. Alright, I saw a small figure clutching a necklace, making a getaway. He was small, but really quick on his feet. I already asked the city gatekeeper to keep an eye out for the necklace, or anyone meeting a description of the culprit. But so far, nothing. A few days go by, and then just now, I saw him, a guy who looks like the thief, wandering around the square. Either he's trying to unload the necklace to a buyer, or he's cuirassing areas for new victims. While I work on processing the declaration of eminent domain, I'd like you to look into the thief if you can. Recover the necklace. Right here. Also. Ha! That was easy. You tell Soren that the thief was none other than thief-footed Andy and the stolen ruby necklace, and hand him the stolen ruby necklace. This is really the stolen necklace. How did you... Wait, I'm not sure if I'm not sure I'd believe you if you told me. I just pointed my gun and went pew pew. Soren's eyes, previously glued to a pile of documents, seemed to sparkle with joy. The owner of that necklace is a big wig of the Skanky Alliance in the Wit mainland. If we fumble our dealings with him, we'll lose many business opportunities, and it'll make my head spin. You got the skills to back up your word. Where did you train? I was asking Platoon about you just a while ago, but we realized we don't really know anything about you. You tell Soren that about your simple origins and that how you were able to meet the Grand Bishop through a recommendation from Anaya in Crescent Hill. Anaya's got grit to match her beauty. I hope you weren't put off too much initially by her demeanor. She and anyone who makes it into the Templars has the skill to back up a good deal of boasting. Maybe you can learn something from her. Talking with Soren reminds you that you ought to go back and see Anaya. Ah, yes. Warp gates. Not the gate. Obviously, not gates. That would be too easy. So we meet again. Anaya nods to you. You're just about to tell Anaya what the Grand Bishop says to you, but before you can start, she cuts in. I'm not your superior. You don't have to report to me. You're an envoy of Gaia. You got a job to do, just as I do. But no matter what happens, promise me you won't lose yourself. Roger that! You begin to notice that Anaya seems to be making things sound gloomy when she talks about them. And judging by her expression, she noticed that you noticed it. Anyways, we received some unusual reports from Nevea's eastern port, and you have come back just in time to assist with our investigation. Heck yeah! Investigation time! You're just in time. Just now, not long after you left, there was a commotion in the east. That's where we set up the keeper golems. The church set up a guard around the Astilian temple back then, but it was meant to keep people from entering the temple. Now, however, the group of stone guards has started to become restless. It's something that has happened inside the temple. It must have been something that happened inside the temple. Please go to the east and make a trip around the Astilian temple to see what's happening. If I'm guessing correctly, I'm afraid you'll also have to make a trip to the altar of the moon. Alright, simple investigations. Ah! You report the results of your patrol to Anaya. Gnomes are completely surrounded by the Alpstein temple ruins, and the altar of the moon is disruptively abandoned. I never would have guessed that the gnomes would activate the defense mechanism. As you observe, the altar of the moon is empty. The crescent gem was originally offered at the altar. It is crucial if we want to break that seal to the Alpstein temple. Apparently, the Mistwalker tribe plans to invade the ancient temple, and we have to report this to the church. Natavia, get rid of those guards. They've begun to rebel. They are no longer of use to the church. I will notify the church about this. Your voice fears that the gnomes might invade the ruins. I'm not worried about that. If you just have the Crescent Gem, but not the spell that breaks the seal, you can't remove the temple seal. You need both components. First, we get rid of the temple guards, then report the situation to the Lunarin chief. Also, ensure that the villagers stay away from the temple ruins. Alright. Boom. More damage. More heals. Okay. Gotta make sure. Because I'm gonna have Ayako be our partner in crime. Nailed it. Adorably Ayako is running. You tell the village chief about the runaway guards. What? How could this happen? The Crescent Gem has been stolen too? Almar's wrings his hand in worry. You notice Rosie standing alongside him. This is bad news, Nitavia. You might not know this, but the text written on the torn out pages of the stolen ceremonial tomes contain a spell capable of opening the temple. I recreated the wax seal. It's the totem of the deviantART marker tribe. It means that the markers might have commanded the gnomes to steal the ceremonial tomb, the ceremonial vessel, and even the Crescent Gem. They desperately want to get into the Aspenland Temple. This cheat keeps getting worse. The key to the Starlight. The key to the Starlight treasure chest is in the altar of the moon. We can't get the key without the Crescent Gem. And that's how I'm evolved now. Almar stammers, a sheen of sweat glistening on his forehead. Even though the wax comes from the markers, we can't take any chances. They never made any trouble here before. According to the marker tradition, if you surrender to an enemy, you must wear his braided rope. If the gnomes are really working for the markers, they should have the markers colored braided ropes tied somewhere on their bodies. Go to the temple ruins and get a good look at the Mistwalker's bandits and check if they have the ropes. over there. Oh, I just made him my... Oh, that's what it does. It just makes me... It makes him, like, a partner. For the time being. Where are more bandits? There are more bandits. Kind of. Give me your ropes! Thank you. You showed the Omar the braided ropes. Oh, shoot, I forgot to read that. I guess the markers really are in charge. Rosie is very knowledgeable, so I'm sure she's right about the totem. The markers' involvement make everything much more complicated. Where? Sure, Anthony has something. I sent my assistant, who specializes in machinery, to investigate the current situation at the Estalian Temple. After all, the gnomes are very adept at machinery. They are likely set traps to keep us away. You explained that Anaya has already reported back to the church. You suggest that you should wait for the church's army. It takes too long for an army to assemble. Besides, aren't you in a hurry to get to Keith due to your little spirit problem? The village chief probably was worried sick about you. My assistant is smart, but he can't fight his way out of a paper bag. While he investigates, please take out the Miss Walker bandits at the temple. But I was already battling the I have to go back and fight them more. Damn it. And ha! Oh. That was probably a loud noise. Thank you very much. Our village is normally tranquil, a safe place. I wonder why so many terrible things have been happening at the same time. Pablo sent word that many of the Mistwalker invaders at the ruins are formidable foes. Those gnomes are clever, skilled, and adaptive at battle. If you don't get rid of them first, it will be very difficult to take any other action. You ought to concentrate on dealing with the invaders first. When you finish with that, meet up with Pablo, my assistant. Can do. I'll make others fight for me. Hi! You squint to see a squat, shadowy figure coming towards you. You quickly realize it's Anthony's assistant, Pablo. I'm Pablo, a student of Anthony. I left my hometown to study in Lunarin. As you can see, I'm a dwarf. Bet you never seen a dwarf before, eh? No, I've seen plenty of dwarfs before, eh? You start to answer, but Pablo cuts you off. Dwarfs are short, we are excellent in building machines, and we're quite swift. This investigation is easy for someone like me. However, if we counter any resistance, we're in trouble. One bash in the head and we're toast. That's why we asked you to take care of the fighting. I saw you handle the Mistwalker invaders like a champ. I think we'll make a good team. You got the bronze, I got the brains, and the looks. Hey! I would like to say that I probably have the looks. You're a dwarf! You may be short, but you're cute. Okay, fine. We both have the looks. Okay, I'll agree on that. We gotta get moving, though. There's something strange in the air in the Alpine Temple, I fear. Interesting, the Alpine Temple was swarming with gnomes. While I was investigating the area, I came across a pile of boxes in the ruins, each filled to the brim with gunpowder. We have to deal with the boxes, or they'll wind up blowing the Alpine Temple ruins to the sky. Before you arrived, I prepared a few buckets for you. I'd like you to pour water on all the boxes. Pablo aims to use an empty bucket. We can't let the gunpowder explode. Be careful. If they find out what you're doing, they certainly won't be happy. But I got guns. Hey! Oh, it's easy. There we go. Oh, things are kind of wanting to fight me. How'd it go? You report to Pablo that you have soaked all the tinder boxes. The gunpowder is now nothing but useless slush. Well done! I've studied with my master for a long time, and I've gained lots of useful knowledge and skills. However, when it comes to problem solving, the simplest solution usually works best. Pablo comments with a knowing wink. Nevea, I have another task to ask you. Once you made it to the Miss Walker tribe camp and recovered the ceremonial stones from the robots, were there, right? So the alien robots should be child's play for you. You shake your head confused, and when you dealt with the Miss Walker tribe, you recovered all the ceremonial vessels and stone. You just missed a few pages of a stolen ceremony tomb. These robots don't have any stone or so how can they move? And there's source of magic nearby. We must find this energy source as soon as possible. If we don't stop these robots, they'll make trouble in the future. Mark my words. Bubble begins to shift through a large bag. Here, Use this detector inside the ruins. Report back with data when report with the data back to me. Well, we need it to use the determined source of energy. Isn't there another text? Okay, no. No, we don't need you, robot. Machines can be quite amazing. Dwarves are specialized in using natural energy to power robots. That's how they do it in my hometown in the Kakarot Forest. However, gnomes don't possess this sort of technology. How could they produce such powerful robots? You give the energy index to Pablo. It appears that the energy emanating from the Alpstone Temple. No wonder the air around the ruins seems to vibrate with something sinister. These gnomes are about skilled as kindergartners. No comparison to us dwarves, obviously. Well, I guess somebody has an inferior complex. We must stop these robots. If you don't, the powerful energy flowing through their core will cause them to become sentient and likely go rogue. When dealing with the mainframe soldiers, it's best to use the electricity to paralyze them. I'll run them unable to move for a short period of time. But that's what my decoring for is for. Also, I gotta use the bathroom again, so I'll be right back again. Sorry about that, yep. I am back. When dealing with the mainframe, it's best to paralyze them and run them in for a period of time. You gotta take care of the engineers while they're not out of the picture. They will repair the paralyzed robots as fast as you can take them out. Since we wanted to destroy the robots anyways, we might as well harvest some of their parts. The more spare parts we have, the better. Nativia, sorry to trouble you while you're slicing and dicing mainframe soldiers. Can you grab the mechanical parts for me? It'd be such a waste to leave them behind. You know very little about these hunks of metal, so you asked Pablo if you'd like to follow you behind and collect the spare parts while you batter the mainframe. You really gave me an Octavia! Normally I'd be more than willing to pick up parts myself, but right now I got something very important to tend to. While unleashing the beasts on those the scrap heaps, I need to investigate the depths of the temples. Maybe I can dig up some clues. Pablo cracks his knuckles. There we go. Got my mechanical parts. There's one. Whoa, Vico. Ah, you're back! How many of those things did you take out? You report to Pablo that you paralyzed the mainframe soldiers and defeated all the engineers. Well done! However, the energy here still feels unstable. It might be some distance from the town, but if it keeps spreading, there's no telling what it might do. We dwarfs are very accustomed to seeing magic mix with machinery, but we have been away from home for a long time. But I've been away from home for a long time. This is the first I've seen such powerful energy. It reminds me of the situation in my home village. During this season, my village holds the referral robot competition. In past years, it's always been a big celebration, like the ceremony in the Lunarin. Pablo smiles wistfully. I did. Zeal. Alright. Even from afar, you can tell that his gaze is trained on what you have in your hand. You hand Pablo the parts to Pablo. With the new research comes need for new parts. Next time I'm developing something, I won't have to spend so much money buying gadgets. Of course, I didn't ask you to destroy those soldiers so that I could save some coin. This is all about stopping the gnomes. Pablo explains quickly when he sees your annoyed reaction. Merely seems very interested after seeing Pablo's panic. Hey, don't look at me like that. Everyone likes to save money, right? It's true. Who doesn't like to save money? If you don't like to save money, who are you? I don't trust you. If you say you don't like to save money, I don't trust you. And don't say it as a joke, because if it's just a joke, then I don't trust you either. I'm kidding. No, I do trust people with jokes, okay? Actually, I just got back myself. This investigation yields some exciting results. Pablo grins proudly. I discovered that the group of marker depots in the ruins, they are awfully conceited. They wouldn't begin to interact with the gnomes normally. I'd eavesdrop on their conversation. I heard the markers lying to the gnomes. They told them about an ancient mechanical technology that lies inside the temple. We're getting close to the truth, Octavia. You must take out the mysterious persuaders without anyone leading to them. The gnomes will disperse quickly. Guess that's quickly. There we go. Did you find the markers I was talking about? You report that you epic defeat. You report your epic defeat of the mysterious prefigures to Pablo. Those foolish gnomes, they focus all their energy on one thing. Didn't anyone ever tell them not to put all their eggs in one basket? They don't understand machines, yet they attempt to build them anyways, blindly ambling towards impossible goals. Those morons will never have the skills that we dwarfsmen naturally possess. Someone having a little bit of an ego complex there? I believe the markers' movements were carefully organized. They sure are planning something. Oddly enough, though, none of them, no one at the ruins appeared to be leaders. I determined the location of the page of the ceremonial tomb. The Mistwalker chief has them. Now, Nevea, you must take on the Mistwalker chief and retrieve the pages of the ceremony. Bring that fool back here. We need to ask the gnome chief about the marker leader's location. Let's have a decoy. Take out the other one. And while we wait, let's get this guy. Actually, it doesn't matter really. It didn't matter that much, but it was about the principle, damn it. Ow. All traces of mirth and anxiety fall from Pablo's demeanor as he watches you and the chief approach. You hand the papers over to Pablo and push the chief forward. Not so rough, kid. I thought you humans respected your elders. You're my elder? The chief grunts angrily. There's not much more than a little shove in store for you if you don't tell us how'd you find the markers, chief. Markers? Didn't you drive off the markers? The Mistwalker chief picks at his ears, smirking. He doesn't seem to know what the disaster is looming. Pablo narrows his eyes into threatening slits, then cracks his knuckles. Oh, that didn't sound that good. Then only does fear cross in the chief's eyes. Hold on! Just tell me what you want! You're talking about Master Odom. He's already broke the temple seal and took the adjutant inside. The Mistwalker chief lowers his head and inverts gaze. What are you talking about? Pablo explodes, his entire body tense with rage. This is a major setback. We gotta get away for the church's armies. This is no trivial matter. You try to calm Pablo down, expressing perhaps that you should first try to capture the marker known as Odom. The church has sealed the temple long ago. They must have had their reason. Something terrible likely dwells inside. I already have a bad feeling about this. Go to the outside temple and draw out the mastermind Odom and his crates. Heck yeah! Dungeon time! Whee! I can't even do hell mode yet! You can keep the... So cool. I forget how much difference this has within from within party mode and all right. Help me, Mark. And go! I am so tempted to just be like... I am so tempted to use that as a... as a thumbnail. I lost! The young marker uses a tonal size and places his head in his hands. I come from Antopiri. They call me Odom, the third prince of the Vianto tribe. May I have the honor of knowing the name of the one who has vanquished me? Odom salutes you. You introduce yourself to him. Odom does not appear to be such as a villainous invader. He seems more like a simply dressed nobleman. You ask Odom why he wants to get into the Aslan temple. Odom says simply, the ancient text describes a powerful energy sealed within the temple. I thought I could use the energy to defeat my brothers. It was a poor plan, to be sure. Even when I was a young human like yourself, even a young human like yourself can wield such amazing power. How could I expect an outside force to compete with the natural talents and pure strength? I never stood a chance against my brothers. You tell him to represent Lunarin, asking him to leave the Absalom temple alone. You mean you'll let me go? Odom gasps, then it falls silent. So this true power, Master Nitavia, I willingly surrender to you. I shall wear your braided rope. I will no longer rely on outside forces to fortify my power. I must look inside myself instead. Surprised by his reaction, you aren't sure what to say. We markers achieve victory, and the loser wears the victor's braided rope. It's a sign of surrender. You will allow me to leave, but I can't go yet. Odom bites his lips. It was only after I entered the Enzo temple that I learned about the power that seduced others as well. In fact, the church sealed this temple to prevent the energy from corrupting the innocent. I was able to decipher the text here. Long ago, a human entered the temple seeking that power. However, once he attained it, his body could not bear the burden. Odom's story seemed oddly familiar. Suddenly, it merely interrupts the expressed doubt. Nitavia, you're right. And Avoya of Gaia was the one who invaded the temple. Merely explains intensely. He grew hungry for more and more power. In the end, it consumed him and transformed into a monster. Even though the Grand Bishop and Anaya assured you weren't in danger, you fear that if you don't get rid of the Eidolon soon, it will devour your soul. This is all my fault. I broke the church's seal. Realizing that abomination, all because of my carelessness. The Crescent Forest will suffer. I never intended this to happen. Thick tears pour from his eyes. You nod to Odom, reassuring him that before the church's army arrives, you help him prevent the corrupt Envoya from leaving the temple. Really? That's great. What? Was Nitavia here? Recalling something, he searches in his pocket, fishing out and handing you a gem. I'm very sorry for everything that I have done. After we secure the temple, please return the Crescent Gem to Lunarin for me. Okay, so this is just gonna be basic. Okay, a little bit of health. Not bad, not bad. I like using like another enemy just to like charm them to do part of your bidding. It's pretty cool, actually. It's probably the key feature I really like from the... What's this? Oh, I don't have enough inventory space to open it. Nice. The temple again to shake again. In the blink of the eye, the seal stone. Okay. This gets moved over here. Hiya! I was a fool! Frost trap! Nevea, are you alright? I finally made up for some of my mistakes. I shouldn't chase after power. I almost lost control of myself. After seeing the Syrindra's fate, and seeing you in front of me, I realized that true power comes from a kind heart. I have much to learn from you. Please, allow me to call you Master. Only if I can call you my young Padawan. Please take me at my word. I never meant anything. You're a kind-hearted soul, a very valuable thing indeed. I have felt honored to have experienced it. Alright, let's go! You hand the Crescent Gem and explain to Omar what happened in the temple. You defeated the corrupted power in the temple and made it back safely? You truly are a legend! Omar exclaims with uncharacteristic glee. We need to celebrate. You may not be from this village, but as long as you remain respectful to our ancestors, I'm sure you will surely receive their blessing. Natavia, I don't know how to thank you. With all that you have done, I guess... Oh, well, shoot. Omar seems quite apprehensive. Hey, Gramps! Hey, Grandpa! Welcome back! Henson smiles, moving over to pat Omar's shoulder. I'm sorry, Nitavia. This is how my grandpa is. He lets his pride get the best of him, but he really does appreciate what you've done around here. Pride? You apprentice little fool? Omar fondles at him, clearly insulted. I just gonna ask Nitavia to host the most important ceremony in Lunarin. How flattering for Arma to offer you such a position in the ceremony. Too bad you know nothing about it. So you'll undoubtedly mess it up in the most important Lunarin tradition. Oh, what are you afraid of? Just accept it. It's not often that Grandpa is this generous. He never let an outsider host a ceremony before. This is truly something special. All he has to do is take the Crescent Gem to the altar of the moon. With a sincere heart, the gem's power will be released. That's it. Halton, we should go. We still need to make the ceremonial vessel and flowers. We still need to take the ceremonial vessels and flowers to the altar of the moon. She gestured to a cart of flowers nearby. All right, Gramps, Nitavia. I'm going to the altar of the moon. We'll meet up there. Nitavia, hurry up. Everyone will be waiting for you. Sue flashes you an anxious smile as she takes Halton by the arm, pulling him away. Don't sweat it. It should be simple enough. After the ceremony ends, I'll get you the keys to open the Starlight treasure chest. Sheeplessly, yeah, okay. Is it dinner time? No, not yet, Yariko. After you've taken the Crescent Gem to the altar, the people of the Lunarin all gather at the altar preparing for the ceremony. It looks like a great crowd has showed up. We got the whole gang here. We got Anthony, we got Halton, we got Omar, we got Sue, we got Nala. Oh, and we got, we got Potter. We got male villager 1, female villager 2, male 1, villager 2, female villager 2, male villager 3, and female villager 3. The whole gang's here. So much has happened. I thought the ceremony wouldn't finish. Not only did it happen, but it ended smoothly. And all thanks to your hard work, Nitavia. Look at me. I'm rambling like an idiot. You have more important things to do than listen to me talk. I'm sure. I've already opened the treasure chest. Here, take a look before I change my mind. Excited, you open the unlocked Starlight treasure chest. It contains an ancient machinery parts in disarray. My, that looks quite old, quite damaged. Omar scrunches the contents of the church. Helena has safeguarded this chest for a very long time, and the key hidden in the altar of the moon. Whatever this is must be very important. When I was younger, I once heard someone say that there was a kind of ancient machine that can dispel spirits. Perhaps this is it. Your heart nearly skips a beat upon hearing this news. You eagerly ask if there's anyone in the village who can repair the machine. Well, judging from how it looks, I'd say the machine was built by the dwarves. Hey, Pablo! Where are you? Come out for a moment. Omlin turns to scream out Pablo's name. I'm here already! Jeez! Pablo scurries over to Omar's side. Something wrong? Carefully, Omar removes the damaged machine from the Starlight treasure chest and passes over to You're a dwarf. And this thing looks like it was made by the dwarves. Perhaps you can fix it? Pablo carefully turns the machine over in his hands and observes that dwarves did indeed make this contraption, but it was made a very long time ago. This thing is a relic. Unfortunately, I don't know much about ancient craftsmanship. You hear that, Nevea? There's got to be a dwarf out there somewhere who knows how to fix one of these outdated products. Take the machine to Brelius, where the dwarfs live. It's a good time to visit my hometown in Kakarot Forest, Nevea. Brelius should be the middle of the annual robot competition right about now. Bubble looks at you with clear excitement. Everyone there is ridiculously busy, but you may look out and find someone who will help you with that machine. And seek out the village chief, Alien, and tell him you're a friend of Pablo. You graciously take the damaged machine from Pablo and ready to head out to Kakarot Forest. Ready to go? Well, it's about time. I thank you, Nitriary, for all you've done for our village. Hopefully the dwarfs in Kakarot Forest can help you with your problem. You will face tougher challenges once you arrive in Kakarot Forest. Please upgrade your skills to prepare for your adventures ahead. Training from Maribel's bulletin board or your temple is recommended. Well, I am level 30. But honestly, guys, I'm getting a bit of a headache, so I don't think me continuing streaming is going to be a good idea. So, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So, I hope you guys don't mind for the shorter stream. So, I might then, with that, do a little bit of a bonus stream on Friday where we do Kakarot Forest, so that way we're kind of on track for next week, where I wanted to be. So, tomorrow, at 6 p.m. Central, we are going to continue on with Phoenix Wright Justice for All, where I am probably just going to sit down and just finally finish episode 2 of the game. So, and then from there, I will kind of conduct myself of how I'm going to go forward with each episode, because there's going to be a lot to get through. And honestly, with every game I have planned, that might take us up until the end of 2022. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But for now, Alexa, tell us an interesting fact.
Here's a fun fact about Earth. The sunniest city in the world is Yuma, Arizona, which enjoys an average of 4,015 hours of sunshine every year. That's 11 hours per day.
Well, there's our interesting fact about sunshine and cities and stuff. So, like I said, there are no weekend streams this weekend, unless if I decide to be like, hey, let's do Gmod anyways. And then Minecraft, I don't know, we'll probably start something within the next few weeks, but don't expect anything till like February, honestly. So, I guess till then, I'm gonna find somebody in whom we can raid, so. I want to hurry up and get this done so that I can go play Trove. Okay. Let's go raid Mr. Pirate King. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed today. I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for some... Oh, shoot. I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for more Phoenix Wright Justice for All. And I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your day and whatever you have planned for tomorrow and the rest of the week.